We're at home today doing a little bit of work on the nav. Today we are replacing the factory side steps with some proper rock sliders. A guy in Newcastle, Anthony's mech fab industry, does a little bit of fabrication work, sort of all different things for your four-wheel drives, cars. He's made me up a set of rock sliders and he's bringing them up today. I'm going to take these factory side steps off myself this morning, and that way when he gets here we'll be ready to bolt the new rock sliders on. These factory side steps, obviously no protection whatsoever really off-road. When you have a look underneath, they're actually just little screws, little bolts into the body, and then these are just like weak plastic, so if you do put any force on them, you're going to not only break this but risk tearing your body underneath as well. Whereas the rock sliders will be directly mounted, bolted into the chassis. So chassis and then out here with your rock sliders along there. To me, rock sliders are very important. They're a reasonably cheap mod and big time protection on your side. Otherwise, once you're off-roading, you're in rocks and that, there's too much risk of knocking in your doors, your side sills here, things like that. There's the first one out. See, they're only little nuts and bolts into the body at each point there, like they're useless. But now we got that off, so it's just mounted into the body up underneath there, and then the new rock sliders will be mounted straight into the chassis there. That's the side steps off. Now we wait for the rock sliders to come. Because Anthony never had my car to get the exact measurements for the rock sliders, he used one of his mate's car who has a D23, but it's one of the older series, so he didn't want to pre-drill all the exact holes until he got there and measured up my car to make sure everything was perfectly lined up in the position it needed to be. A few quick measurements, and then he had to just drill those holes where they mount onto the chassis, and we're good to go. Is that just a little bit of paint top up to stop the rust? Yeah. What's the hose for?
Because your fuel lines run on top of the chassis.
Yeah.
So instead of having the fuel lines rub on the bolt.
Oh yeah, rub on that.
And
yeah.
Zip tie it to the rubber.
Yeah. They're a nice snug fit.
Yeah, I'll try and make them so they're a good fit, so then they don't rattle and wear your chassis, or like rub on the chassis. And the tighter you get it, more stronger it's going to be.
Yeah, for sure. Those bolts, they're rated, looks like. They got 8 point something on them.
Yeah, they're high tensile 8.8s.
We obviously need the proper rated bolts because that's what's going to take the force as well.
Yeah, that's it. That's one other reason I make it so tight, like the clamps too.
Yeah.
Because then they take a lot of the force as well.
Yeah.
Instead of just the bolts.
So do you need to drill into the chassis?
No, the bolts sit on top of the chassis.
Yeah, okay.
And then they clamp to the chassis.
Yeah. It's never just as easy as bolt them onto the chassis.
Nah.
You always got 20 other bits and pieces you got to navigate around.
That's it.
Say someone drops off a car to you.
Yep.
How long can you knock up a set of these in?
I can normally have them done in about 2 days, like built and on the car.
Yeah. Is that just because you're waiting for bits and pieces to finish setting and drying and welding and all that sort of stuff? Anthony's just arrived now, brought the rock sliders with him, so we're just in the process of mounting them up now. They've come out so nice, they look really good.
They're actually made of mild steel pipe, which they call a nominal bore pipe. It's actually 32 MB with a medium wall, which is 3.2 mil thick.
Yep.
And the way we bend it is with an actual, which is cam spec follow and die bender.
Yeah.
So you don't get the crushing the bends like a typical pipe bender would. So in the bends there's no crush, like so you're not going to lose your tensile strength in the bends.
Yeah.
Which is really what you want, so you're not getting any dents or anything in your seals. And
they're definitely heavy duty looking, and these mounts as well.
The mounts are all made out of 6mm.
Yeah.
And we always run gussets on them just to help take the impacts.
And then you've just Raptor-coated the whole things.
Yeah, I thought we'd give it a try with Raptor-coat this time. Everybody's going on about it now, so
yeah,
something different. We thought we'd try it out.
And then you obviously just do this like as a little bit of a side business at the moment, but you're hoping to go full time at some stage.
Yeah, at the moment I'm just doing it in my backyard and
yeah,
in the shed, just trying to help people out and
yeah,
get back into it.
Because you do all sorts of fabrication work, don't you?
Yeah.
Sort of anything that people want done, you can do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anything to do with cars, full drives, engine conversions, suspension upgrades. Yeah.
We'll keep going and put them on. Well, not me, you. I'll sit around and watch with the camera. That's like you see with side steps. You know, even like your steel side steps, they take a hit and they just crush. Like not crush, but they bend up if you put your whole weight of your car on them.
Yeah.
Your steel side steps compared to rock sliders, which don't move.
So the biggest thing with this like industry, we're doing this kind of stuff, is like average Joe Blow don't understand the difference between a heavy duty step and a rock slider.
Yeah.
Like technically a rock slider should be able to take the whole weight of the car.
Yeah.
And not move.
Both rock sliders are on now. They came out absolutely unreal. They look super good. Very strong looking material, very strong looking sliders, so I will be keen to test them out. Obviously, like these are actual rock sliders. They are made for, they basically can take the whole weight of your car. They're made for landing on rocks, ruts, various things. The ones I had on before were just your factory alloy plasticky side steps. They're obviously completely useless. Then you can step up to steel side steps, which are strong, but if you put the whole weight of your car on them, they normally will start to like bend and buckle. Those are your three main things. That's why I've gone rock sliders. I normally try and get, in my opinion, rock sliders are better off being one of your earlier mods, because they're not too much money. You know, they're a reasonably cheap mod. Bolted directly onto your chassis, plenty of strength there, and that way it gives you that side seal protection if you are hitting. Otherwise, it's only a matter of time before you're likely to knock something in here, you know, knock the bottom of a door in or the bottom of the seal. One other thing I'll say with these rock sliders that I got Anthony to do is stick them out a bit further. If you remember on my last one, I had the X-Rocks one, which they're really strong, not like complaining about them, they're great strong rock sliders, but they're too close in, meaning they didn't offer that protection. You need them out a little bit further. One thing, you can now actually kind of stand on these. You couldn't get your feet in on the X-Rocks ones, where these you can actually stand on when you need to get to the roof rack or something, and they stick out further, so when you're actually leaning into stuff, they got that protection. And also massive thanks to Anthony, who made those up for me. He did an unreal job, and nicest bloke, like came out, fitted them all up, helped me out. He did actually used to run a fabrication business. He had a fabrication business for a few years, but now he just does it on the side. But he is hoping to build it back up again, but he does like all different work, pretty much anything you want.
Good, man.
Yeah, I considered doing this at home, and then I thought, no.
It's easier.
Yeah, you have a hoist and it'll be easier for me to film rather than me trying to get around on the ground and film everything. Back down here at Fernhill Mechanics. Today we're doing a quick, easy job this afternoon. Well, hopefully easy. All jobs seem to come with their challenges. But we're just doing bash plates today. So a set of 3 bash plates. They're custom off-road accessory bash plates. Now this is the only one that was on there at the moment, just like 1mm tin, which is, you know, useless. They just kind of stop water and dust really going upwards. Anything hits them, they'll just smash to pieces, which actually happened on my old one. I hit this on a rock and then it went into the intercooler and did the whole intercooler and everything. So I got a whole set of 3 bash plates to replace. Replace this one plus go back underneath the car. You got the front one, front for the intercooler. You got a middle one there, which is your front diff and sump, and then that's a transmission plate as well. They're all 3mm stainless steel and just bolt on. So we'll give it a go and see how we go. So before we actually properly bolt them and mount them all in, we're just going to line them all up to check they all fit right, we've got everything we need. And then we'll actually bolt them in. We're just kind of doing a bit of a pre-test run now for the set of 3 back along there. It's definitely going to give a good cover.
Oh, it's definitely good cover.
So we're going to
Yeah, so run through there. You should be alright on that side.
One thing I do like is how they've designed it so that the nuts are sitting up in rather than level with the whole plate. Because on my old ones I had that and I constantly just like tore them off.
Oh, okay.
Whereas they actually they've designed the plates they're sitting kind of up in it a bit, I guess. Which is helpful. How's it all looking anyway? Does it look like it's all going to come together alright?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all matched up. Nothing too complicated, just bolt on really.
Yep.
They're definitely strong looking gear. Doesn't look like you'll break them quickly.
No, I think you'd be able to actually go over stumps and rocks.
Yeah.
It'll make a hell of a racket, but it won't hurt, I think.
They'll just pretty much take the weight of the vehicle just about.
Yeah, I think so.
That's just about done, is it?
That's it.
It's all mounted up.
It's all, everything's tight.
It was easier doing it here on the hoist than me trying to crawl around at home. Yeah, it's not a hard job, but it makes it a lot easier when you got the hoist to put it up at head height. There's going to be plenty of protection back along there now. But the worst you cop it is downhill, when you're going downhill like on rough terrain, rough tracks, and you're kind of committed to a line and there's rocks and ruts and everything else. Sometimes you can't help it but just start smashing into things, and it's better hitting these than tearing out sumps and diffs and everything else out the bush.
No, this is a really nice set. It's one of the nicest skid plate setups I've seen.
So you can go to front 1, 2, which are the most important ones I reckon.
Yeah.
That's 300 for the front 2. And then the back one is another 200 to cover your whole transmission as well. It's kind of like the extra piece of mind. But yeah, you definitely get the front
I think
2.
that's critical.
Critical
It's the
front 2, and then that's kind of that extra depending on what you want. But I guess you got to balance up, you know, there is a bit of weight to them, that balance between weight and the protection you're going to get.
I think it's worth it. I like the way that it protects the transfer case.
Yeah.
Transfer cases of these are aluminium.
Yeah.
If you went over a rock, the moment the rock comes off the cross member,
Yeah.
that transfer takes the full weight of it,
Yeah.
and it would just shatter.
Yeah.
And I've seen them shatter.
Yeah. Okay. So they're not like super tough.
Oh no way.
No.
No, they'll break easily.
Yeah. And then
It's
you
a really
can,
light die-cast aluminium.
so it's kind of worth having that transmission plate.
I think it is.
And that would not be a cheap part to replace.
It's probably about $5 grand. Though.
Yeah, I can imagine the fun missing it have when you go to them.
Try and explain that one.
Yeah, and
Yeah, what can you transfer?
they definitely have a big bill for you.
Yeah.
We're back here in Mid-Coast 4-wheel drive doing another modification. Today we're doing the roof rack today. I went with a Rhino track-mounted flat roof rack platform. Basically put my awning on, put my swag up there, chainsaw, max tracks, all those different things. But we're just in the process here with Dean. He's in the process of installing it on now. So because it's track mounted, you have to rivet the tracks into the roof. I went with a track mount one. They don't make the, what's the newer one they have? What's the other mounting system, the new one?
Well, there's clamp ones that go on.
Yeah, but there's another one as well.
Backbone.
Yeah, backbone. Yeah, they don't make the backbone one for the Navara yet. They've been talking about that for 2 years now and they still haven't done it.
I don't believe there's any benefit other than the look.
Yeah. So they're not stronger.
I still believe it's the same weight rating.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was maybe a little bit more, but it might be the same.
Yeah, I'm not 100%, but from what I've heard, they are the same weight rating, but they look a lot tougher.
But yeah, they don't do the backbone, so they're going with the track mount, which is meant to be a little bit stronger than the door clamp ones. Basically, I think the track mount has a higher rating than the door clamp as well.
You'd think so, yeah.
I think for this, it's 100 kilos.
Yeah.
And then the door clamp one's like 80 maybe.
Possibly, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so the track mount one, you can handle a little bit more weight, and it is meant to be tougher out on the tracks. You say you collect a tree or knock into things, stuff like that. So yeah, mount the tracks up, pop all that in, and then assemble the platform and put that up there. Take about 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
You need an air rivet gun for this, like you can't do it with a normal rivet.
You can do it with a normal rivet.
Pop rivet or whatever.
Yeah. But that's fine. This is because we do these all day long, every day. I'd look like Hercules if I That's that mounted. What I like to do, and what my boss has actually showed me to do, is we'll put another dot of silicone on top of each rivet. Even though the head of that rivet pulls up into there and seals it, if I put another dot of silicone over the top, you're 100% guaranteed that rivet's not going to leak. It's in place where I want it. Pull back and down.
Got it lined up on your own.
On my end, it's got the mark on it there. You can even have a crack and peel them off if you want. Doing the job. That's it. Kit comes with the butyl mastic patches, and you peel them off. They're quite thin. They're quite flexible. They do work. I prefer to use.
Silicone a lot easier.
It's neater and it's not as fiddly to open up and peel. Once you peel one side off, you end up getting that stuck to your finger.
And what's the purpose of that? That's just to stop. Is that to stop things going down there? Is it?
It's to seal it.
Yeah, seal it.
To seal the hole that we've just put into the roof skin. And same as before, we've got a series in which they should be pressed.
Front to back.
Yeah, on this kit it tells us front to back. Applying downward pressure as we go. Alright, I'll get you to help me hold that one down again. So I'm going to push down on the front section. You just take the middle to the rear for me. Oh yeah, you've got to remember when you do pop these in to have your ends already in.
Yeah.
Because they're held in by the rivets as well. And it'd be quite annoying to have to re-drill out a rivet that you've just pressed into a roof.
After that, we start assembling the rack.
It'll be smoko soon. I suggest that if anybody does do these at home, read everything a couple of times.
Yeah.
Understand what you're doing before you start doing it. Just lift the top skin of the box off. So in the kit you'll see there's all parts packaged up. These are crossbars because these are a universal type rack system.
So do you have to slightly adjust each one for the vehicle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And personal use.
These are just like an alloy, aren't they? Are they powder coated alloy?
Yeah, correct. So I've got a platform rack on my Land Cruiser and I can't fault it, I absolutely love it. And sometimes with these kits, even though they do come with pre-drilled holes, here,
Yeah.
your kit and this model might say to drill a hole here. Because they're so generic, they're for any vehicle.
Yeah.
And for any purpose. You can put this on a canopy, I can put it on here, or I can put it on a canopy or a roof rack on the back of the car. And that's the way you just got to line everything up, look at all your parts, look at all your bits, make sure they're all there.
Yeah.
And then we start assembling this back, sit it up on top. was telling you, you got to drill some of them.
Yeah.
This one you do. Always measure twice, cut once. Just an automatic centre punch. This is where we fit these cross rails back in. They're designed to go on these. So you start off with a spring washer and your flat washer for the outsides. I just do things systematically. I get all the same thing happen at once. Well, they just drop in and they've got the same thing. They've got a curved angle on each side which allows it to spin. You drop it in. Sometimes I find it's easier just to lift that up with a screwdriver. They will pick up, but you could be standing there for 5 minutes.
Trying
to screw into nothing. So these are now bolted in their place. We're going to tip the rack over. The middle ones are bigger.
So you need to go and put all them in there, both on the two sides.
Yep. This is just the assembly of the rack to the rail system, which is going to be on your legs and your feet to your calves.
Do you want me to start putting the other ones in, or
If you want to have a go.
if I want to cross-thread it?
Mate, if you do that, you ruined your own product. So we'll go through and tighten all them now. Let's make sure these are all lined up. These have got security Allen keys as well. And all it does is lock in to that little bit there.
That's also a safety theft thing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty quick to take off once you get that little key lock cover off. You're going to drop these onto the roof, tighten these all in place. What we do now, bud, is we'll go back and measure centre to centre on those rails that we put on the platform rack.
Yeah.
And then we measure centre to centre here because you can't have them sitting like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
And then we get these in centre to centre and equalised where you want them as to what the dimensions are off the rack that we've just built. Put the quick release feet on, tighten these down, put the quick release feet onto the rack, and then lift it up, drop it in, flick the latches.
All comes together pretty quick then once you
get it all set up.
Once you get set up, then all of a sudden it's on there.
So these are now generically the same with the wedges on each one.
Yeah.
We're going to match that back to the coping of the roof, so we're going to have the wedges on the outside.
Yeah.
So that'll level that up.
It's definitely a little bit of a jigsaw puzzle putting these together. The fact that you get one measurement out somewhere and then the whole thing's screwed.
So these will be in place with enough tension on them so that you can still move them, but they won't fall off. The centre of that one to the centre of that one says about 850, centre at 850. And it's giving you roughly the same end clearance on each side. That's a centimetre off on the end of that track, so we just match that to that side.
Yeah.
And then it's square. Tighten this one down, then we measure that one 850 forward.
Yeah.
And it should match to what we've built over there, and we're almost at the end of the game.
Just set it up there and it's done.
Yeah, just like that.
Next time a customer comes in, they can go have a cup of coffee and then you'll be done by the time they're done.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, I saw a video, only happened in 20 minutes. Oh. Gonna go over, Tyler, he's gonna duck down. Get a video of that coming over the top, mate. That's
Fold that down.
Let me bring that down like that.
So,
now we just got to measure sideways movement. Going off that.
Yeah, get it even both sides.
So that's about 4, nearly 4.5. Alright, so we got them 5.
So we just got to tighten them up now.
Yeah. Put the little locking plates back in. So yeah, these are the plates. You saw how they work.
And then you cover up
And you put
plates
that
and
back in.
lock them in. That's it, all done. how are you making your adjustment on it?
Well, I was hoping it would be the type of one that, you know, you could just, sort of like what we just did with the sway bar.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's one you actually have to take off and turn.
So you're going to measure it against the old one and then add on that 8 or 9 mil or whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to make an estimate.
Yeah.
And what they'll do at the wheel alignment is just get that even better.
Yeah, so after I do this, I'll need to have a wheel alignment to clear it all up. Big nuts on it.
Thanks.
How come you have to lift the diff up?
Move the diff over.
Oh yeah.
And I can't drag it. On a hoist set up for a wheel alignment, it would be on a skid plate and you could just pull it over.
You need me to hold it while you put it in, because it keeps coming back at you.
Yeah. Hold it close, just a little bit more.
What we're doing now is just putting an adjustable Panhard rod in the rear end of it, because what we found was when we did the suspension, the lift, it brought the diff, what was it, about 8 or 9 mil passenger side. Yeah. Which basically meant the whole diff and the rear tyres were sitting towards that way, and I could feel it in the steering pulling left. And then obviously, like, you're going to get uneven tyre wear and stuff, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, uneven tyre wear. It's all sitting slightly out of place. This is the thing, as soon as you lift your car, once you lift your car, then you got to add this bit and this bit to get everything all realigned properly.
That's pretty close.
Sitting about even now.
Pretty even. Only a laser wheel alignment can
Get it perfect.
get it perfect.
There it is, all back in, which has brought that rear diff back in the line. That's a superior engineering one. I think it's about $300. Definitely a lot more solid than the factory one as well. So what do you need to tighten these up now?
Yeah.
So what are you doing, anything tonight or?
Is it your birthday today?
Yeah.
Happy birthday! I have a Danish.
I'm just going to get some pieces out. I'm just going to quickly put this awning on the roof rack we put on today, the Rhino roof rack. Just went with like a normal awning, an Ironman one. I think it's 2.5 by 2.5 meters. I was considering like one of those 270-degree awnings, but expensive, like 4 or 5 times the price. Maybe not 5, 3 or 4 times the price. And more weight up there, and I don't know, like the standard awning does the job. Like that's what I've used the past few years, and you know, protects you when you need it from the rain and that. It does come with a mounting kit, but it's not really suitable for the platform. Comes with these brackets, but they don't fit in the channels up on the rack properly. They only like one screw. The other point where it should mount doesn't fit, so you have to either modify this or drill into your rack. So what I did was I just bought the kit, the Rhino kit, which comes with sturdier, like, you know, proper mounts that slot into the channels and onto your awning as well. Keep everything a lot more sturdier then. So it's nothing too complicated, it's just a matter of bolting these into the channels on the roof rack and then mounting your awning onto it. Well, we might just install the awning another day.
Are you okay? What are you doing?
The Rhino platforms have these little channels, and you get these kit plates of them, and then you slide the plates up the channel, and then so that's in the channel, that's on top, and then you bolt into those little plates. So I'm just going to loosely mount the two here, and then we can kind of adjust the awning and then tighten things up after that. This is my toolkit that I keep in the car. There's one on. You can kind of adjust your heights because you've got different holes and different sort of ways you can assemble this. I could do it down that way. And I'll just go this way and then I can change it later, I guess, if need be. Obviously spread them out a little bit, spread the weight out towards the ends. Lift it up. Okay, so there's 4 bolts, so you need to slide 2 in each end. Cool. Just blow the dust off it. Yeah, no.
What? How else do you want me to blow it?
Cool. You go. You don't spit on it. So it's roughly going to go about there, so we want them roughly lined up with where they're going to be.
I'll really drop that one again. Ready?
Look at you go.
I wouldn't be able to do them without my ironclad gloves.
We just need to tighten them on the awning and then it's done. Yeah, that's right. How's it look? Good height? Because it could go a bit higher or a bit lower.
Great height.
There it is, all mounted up. Nothing too hard. It's about as advanced as my mechanical skills get.